Hello, what's up guys? Your boy DTRU is here and welcome to another Lord of Nazarick video. And in today's video guys, we are going to be releasing a video after a video about explaining the upcoming characters, what relics you should use on them, the stats and what enchants you wanna go on them as well. So you can prepare yourself and start, if you wanna from now for example, start preparing your relics because now we have literally nothing to do and we are waiting for these characters to come, so you can start building your relics and I'm going to explain to you everything about them and why we are using this. And at the end, this is my own personal ideas and my own personal testing and all of that, so it's still up to you to decide what you want, but I want to share my thoughts with you guys and I want to tell you everything that I know about them. So let's begin the video and I hope you enjoy it. So we are going to start with Masked Shalltear that is gonna come to global soon after Eclair does. Basically, Shalltear can use, as you can see on the screen, they use the damage reduction one, or Alchemy, or Vartmari. Each character is going to have 3 options, but I am going to say what is the best and what is not, because some of them are not optional, but just to show you the options that was in China. So basically, Shalltear, all her kit is about her attack and ER. So basically, you can either go for Alchemy to increases the defense for the shielder that you have, or the attack of the highest attack in your team. Alchemy is really good and can be good on her, but what I personally think and tested that the best one on her is going to be Vertmari, because Vertmari is going to have a 40% chance to reset a skill cooldown, which can help us use our kit more, the ultimate, the shields, which is really best and most useful one for her. People go for the damage reduction one just to keep her alive a little bit more, but I don't advise with this. Alchemy and Vertmari are the best choices, and the number one is going to be Vertmari because we want her cooldowns to be resetted. It's really good to reset the cooldown so we can use her kit more. And also for her, we are going to show her stats as well right here. As you can see, Shalltear is a Sapphire and she's a priest, she's a system shield and a buffer. So basically she have an S on her attack and A on the magical defense, B HP, B defense and B speed. So basically what we want to do in stats and enchants for her. So we are going to start with stats. So basically we want as much attack as we can get. We need a lot of attack and ER because she literally boosts your allies for how much of her attack she does, the percentage of her attack and the percentage of her ER as well. As you can see the arrows right there, ER and attack are the most important 2 things to put in her. If you want to put like others, then HP, some defense, whatever you want to put, but basically focusing is supposed to be on attack and ER as well. And then in the enchants, what we want to do is that we want to as well give her as much as of blade down, which is the attack, and as much of ER as well as we can, and some HP and some defense just to make it a little bit tanky. Crit damage resistance or crit resistance also can be, but what is mostly important is to boost her ER and her attack, because these two are what she needs to make your team be so strong. And this is what they like scale from. Like she literally, the souls that she have, all her kit is literally the amount of her attack and the amount of her ER that she takes from these and give to the allies. So that's why focusing these is really good and best option for her. And now we are gonna go for the second one, which is going to be Lakyus. That should be dropping either after Shalltear or before after Shalltear or after Lupus. Okay, in Taiwan it was Shalltear then Lakyus, but in China it was Shalltear, Lupus then Lakyus. But I'm going to cover Lakyus first because Global has been following Taiwan much, so let's say that she's coming before, but it doesn't matter anyway. Basically, Lakyus is going to be also using the damage reduction or either termination or either crimson. I don't even know why crimson is a choice in there. I think it's because of when she enters the state, she can deal magical damage as well. So crimson can be an option. But what I think is best option for her is termination, because what you want from her is to try and to scale so you can deal good amount of damage with her. She's a warrior, that's supposed to be a damage dealer. She literally boosts her attack and her defense, and she can deal magical attack and she can deal physical damage as well. When she's in this state, she will deal magical. When she's not, she will deal physical. She have two type of attack, and she passives is on defense and attack. As we can see here, she is a Sapphire, a warrior. She's an EUE shield and a buffer as well. HP A, defense A, speed C, attack is A, and magical defense is B. It's basically similar to Momon a little bit in the stats, but what we want as stats in here. We want to do as much as we can for her attack, for the stats, as many as we can, attack and defense, because she scales on attack and on defense. So stats is supposed to be priority is the attack and defense. If you want to give her some crit and some crit damage as well, because we are going termination, we want her to do some damage. So actually putting some crit and crit damage on her alongside some attack and defense can be good and can be like the best option for you to actually focus on. But focus mostly on the attack and defense, because she can be defensive a little bit and she can also deal a lot of damage. So attack and defense, some crit and some crit damage is going to be okay. And then for enchants, the same, literally the same. Some blade down and some defense and some crit damage can really be good in here. There's nothing that we want to put other than that, because she literally doesn't do any attack or whatever. Like she do a shield on herself, but I don't see putting an iron wall for her. But if you got it, I think it still procs, it works. But I don't advise, like attack, defense, crit, and crit damage is what you should prioritize. So this is basically for Lakyus. And then we are going to go for our girl, our little wolf, which is LupusRegina. Now for LupusRegina, you also have three options: is Desolation, Execution, and Vert Mare as well. So basically, people in China use the three. The three are good, but what I think is best, because we want LupusRegina to be like basically the DPS on our team, right? Even if we have Entoma, Entoma is going to be the DPS too, but we want her to do damage. You know, her kit is all about damage and reflecting bleed. So basically, you will play her with the bleed team. So I don't think Desolation is going to be like very beneficial, because like in the bleed team, especially with Regina and Demiurge and all of that, there's a lot of debuffs and bleed that is going to be there, and we can actually put Desolation on tank Demiurge. We're going there, but basically what is best for her is Execution. We want Execution so we can deal as much damage as we can, because the Execution is deals amount of the debuff that the enemy does. So basically Execution is the best option for her if you want her to be the DPS in your team, if you want her to deal damage. You can go for Mari a little bit also, can work, just to reset her cooldown and put more debuffs and more bleeds and more stuff. But basically I think that Execution is the best actually to make her go kaboom and literally do a lot of damage to the enemy. And now for her stats, as you can see, she's gonna be a Garnet Warrior, AoE bleed and a debuff, A HP defense A, B speed, A attack, and A magical defense. So basically what we want to go with her stats is going to be, we want to put as much EP as we can so we can speed her up a little bit, and because all of her kit is basic chance and she inflict healing debuffs, she doesn't let them heal, and a lot of other debuffs like the bleeds and the layers, and she will also inflict her passive, which is going to make her deal more bleed damage on the enemy. All of that is going to be EP biased, alright? So we need as much AP as we can to inflict these debuffs, because the most powerful thing about her is the debuffs that she inflicts, or the healing down and all of that stuff that she deals. So basically putting AP on her is very good, as much as you can from AP. And then of course we need attack as well, attack, damage boost, and EP is the three most important thing you want to build. And if you want some crit and crit damage, you can go for that. But basically, I don't advise so much with the crit stuff because she is going to be a bleed unit and the bleed team, so doesn't really need that much of crit and crit damage. So work as much as you can on her attack and on her speed, which is EP as well, because in chance it's going to put some speed on her. So some speed also in stats, speed, attack, and EP is what you need the most to work on her. And in chance is going to be of course EP and blade down attack and damage boost, because she have a lot of damage increases in her kit. So damage boost is going to be really good and really beneficial for her kit as well. And now we are going to go for Tank Demiurge. Tank Demiurge is one of the, like, he is really good unit. We already seen him in Peronkino stages. He's doing perfect. This guy is so good and he's really like really strong for bleed and non-bleed characters. So basically, what you can go with Demiurge is either Champion, Vortmari, or Desolation. So basically the first option and the most useful option, it's actually Desolation. Why Desolation? Because he will inflict a lot of debuffs, okay? And his ultimate is in AoE, alright? And he inflicts bleed and a lot of stuff. So basically putting Desolation on him have a big chance to inflict even more debuffs on all the enemy units, and it can help you inflict a lot of debuffs, literally make the enemy all red because of debuffs, because he inflicts a lot of debuffs, which will help because you're running execution on LupusRegina to deal more damage. So it's really a good option. But if you want him, because he goes and tank the attacks from the enemy, and he can die fast if you don't have him tanky enough. So basically you can also go Champion if you want him to be more tanky. Then this is like Desolation is his offensive set, and you can call it like that. And Champion is his defensive set, so he can survive more and keep the damage reduction on your allies more, and can help your team survive more and deal more bleed damage and inflict more bleed stacks as well. And now we are going for his stats. His stats is basically, as you can see, his Garnet, his Knight. He protects because he takes the damage from the enemy. He controls and he bleed. So as we see, there's an S on the HP, A on defense, B on speed, C on attack, and A on magical defense. So what we want to do in here basically is focus the HP as much as possible, alright? HP and EP. HP and EP are the most important things to put on him. HP is more important than EP. Put as much HP as you can on him, because most of his stuff skills on HP, and you want him to survive as much as possible, so he keeps the damage reduction on your team, and he keeps like letting the enemy take more damage, and stacks a lot of bleeds, because he really stacks a lot and he's really important in that team. So basically we want as much as HP as we can so he can survive more. And he also lifesteal, he has a blood sucking, which is scales on his HP, and will receive 100% of his HP back. So that is really good and really helps a lot for HP. And you can also put some EP on him and some defense just to make him as much tanky as you want. And you can some ER as well, is not a bad option. And now for enchants as well, we are going for as much as we can for HP, and we put some defense in there, and we also put some EP as well and some ER. But basically HP and defense is what mostly need to be focused on enchants. HP and defense, just making him survive and be tanky as much as we can. And EP, because we want him to put some debuffs, as we said. If a little from here and a little from the stats, it will be good, and it will be enough. And some ER, so he can be a little bit defensive and not take a lot of debuffs. So it actually really works amazing on him. It's gonna be perfect. And now for the last unit of our explanation for today. By the way, or let me say it at the end better. Anyway, now for Entoma, as we can see on the screen, Entoma is getting used with Vartmari, Termination, and Execution. Vartmari just to reset her cooldown, but I really think that should be a third option. And I don't think that it should be an option, to be honest, just because, you know, she's the ranger in the team, right? She's the damage dealer in the team. she deals a lot of damage. So basically what we want to run on her is Termination. I personally advise with Termination. Execution is good as well, it can be a good second option, but Termination should be your priority because we want her to deal as much damage as we can, and Termination can actually nullify the enemy's defense and can make her deal a lot of damage, especially that all of her kit is like literally on the defense of the enemy and the defense of your allies. So basically we want her and the swarm as well. So Termination is really an amazing option to have on her, but Execution also works, but keep in mind that Termination gonna be much better in numbers. And now we're going for her stats. She's going to be a Garnet Ranger, she's going to be a single, an assist, and a bleed character. Cooperation means assist in China translation. It's B on HP, B on defense, speed on A, attack on S, and magic defense on C. A crit is 20% as well because she's a basic, and she's going to have a basic 20% ASR, which is assist rate, because she's a ranger. So basically, what we need to focus on her is the attack and speed, crit and crit damage, okay? Because she's going to be our the main DPS if you want to go with her on your bleed team. She's going to be really doing good amount of single nuke damage. So basically what we want is to focus on attack because all of her, even the swarm every single her kit skills on her attack, that's why her attack is on S. So basically focus the attack as much as possible, and we also want the speed. So we want her to move faster and we want her to deal more debuffs and deal more damage. And because she have a really good single nuked attack, so if she crits she also deals a lot of damage. So basically going crit and crit damage also is going to be perfect. No, like so literally crit damage, attack and speed. This is the best stats that you should go for. But the first two that you should go for is going to be attack and speed, then put crit and crit damage, okay? And now for enchants, you want as much as EP as we can so we can make her move first and attack, alright, and crit damage as well. But focus mainly on AP, altering shot. So she can have more speed and she can move more, and then also her attack because all of her kits is on her attack. So blade down, max it if you can, at how much you can put so she can have a lot of attack and a lot of speed, and then put some crit and crit damage so she can crit and deal a lot of damage as a single target. So basically that's it for our part 1. I'm going to be releasing parts, okay? I'm going to be introducing 5 characters in each part. Now part 1 is done, and then we're going to go with parts just so we don't confuse people and we don't make... I think the video already is long enough, so we have to make it parts. So I'm going to make it parts. So I want to put... I did put in part 1 all the ones that's going to come first. And I'm going to go with, you know, the lineups for how the character is gonna come. So you can prioritize and you can start building. So that's basically it for the part 1. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I really hope that it helped you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Your boy DTRU was with you guys. Peace.